A couple of weeks ago, I did something mysterious. I have asked you, the community, to help me create a tactic in Football Manager 2024, which you did after answering countless endless voting polls. Thank you. We've ended up with this tactic, which I then set up in FN24, and it went well. Before you can decide if it went well or not, I must walk you through what has happened to get to this point. And we start in 2023 with me, actually him, waiting in a cold dressing room to be introduced as the new manager of Liverpool. Yes, that Liverpool. And yes, Jurgen Klopp retired after he so rudely interrupted his reign. The journey at Liverpool started very well and lasted a few seasons, in which I, or him, us, have won 3 Champions League titles, 6 Premier League titles, and an array of different other so-called English Cups. But then, we got bored of winning and decided to make life harder for ourselves and just resigned, which did not last long, as after a few seasons, we ended up at Paris Saint-Germain. Yes, that Paris. But before you start judging me for it, you have to know that I did go around the globe a little and won a few titles outside of Premier League and Liga. And Gamba Osaka can attest to that. We first finished 4th in the Japanese Premier Division as I took them over mid-season. But then, we have won everything that is obtainable in the Japanese footballing elite. But then, the managerial position at Wolfsburg was vacant, so I decided to apply. And of course, with this array of titles under our belt, they could not say no. So I took over them and managed to guide them to European and German glory, winning the UEFA Conference League and the DFB Pokal. Good, now that you are caught up with the saves achievements so far, maybe you will lower that judgmental eyebrow a bit. No? Okay, I can't blame you, it's PSG after all. So, let's go in the tactics section and let me show you how I have decided to set up the tactic you chose. As the chosen positions were quite balanced overall, I have managed to put together a decent tactical setup. I was afraid that you'd go for crazier positions and roles, but maybe next time. In possession, I chose to go with the Pep Guardiola style of play as it suited the team better. Fairly narrow attacking width, shorter passing directness, and slower passing tempo. Working the ball into the box and implementing some underlaps since we use an inverted wingback. Counter press, distribute the ball quickly, enter the defense in transition, and out of possession, high press, standard defensive line, press more often, and prevent goalkeeper shot distribution. As player instructions, not too many chosen. The box-to-box midfielder is told to get further forward, while the center midfielder is told to roam from position. To be honest, the roles and the duties are what makes this tactic fun, and you chose them. Of course, it might be PSG, but let me be honest, this tactic is actually very fun to play with, as it creates many attacking patterns which are unexpected for the opposition. I realize that you don't know half of the players in this squad, but try to focus. The wide center back's movement is so effective in this combination with the inverted wingback, especially the player on support duty, as the inverted wingback drifts inside to the midfield, while the wide center back takes his place, giving the tactic width. Of course, the width created by this movement does not cover a lot of ground, but it's enough to keep the opposition's winger in that area of the pitch, thus helping to overload the midfield space. 4 players, sometimes 5, crowd this area here, and given the variation of tactics used by the opposition, which, let's be honest, does not vary too much, we ended up with a 4v5 or 5v5 situation most of the times. Granted, in terms of titles, the tactic did not bring us many trophies, as we have won only the Ligue 1 title and the Super Cup with it, and were runners-up in the UEFA Super Cup. But as said, this is a fun tactic to play with, that keeps the opposition on their toes and leads to creative attacking patterns. The tactic is available for download as always on Steam or my website, and I would like to thank you for being so engaging in creating this tactic. I surely had a lot of fun using it, and I hope you will do too. Until next time, I will leave you with some of the goals scored the past season.